It's time for story time. What's the story today? It's time for story time. What's the story today? Yeah. Welcome to this edition of Story Time with Mr. Fantastic, Wonderful, Amazing, and Awesome, Mr. Fuwa at your service, August Lowe. Today's story is Mr. Tobee and the Gemini blanket. Please come back. Please come back, Mr. Tobee and the Gemini blanket is about a little frog named Freddy who has lost someone very close and near and dear to him. And Freddy is having troubles with his happiness. He's been sad, he's depressed, he's walking around with his, or he's hopping around with his head down. He's not doing well in school. He doesn't play with his friends or on the playground. He's just not his froggy self. Now this is a multiple story. This is part one. Tap follow and like in the profile, and also tap the profile and also go to my link in the profile to get some really wonderful things to help you feel good. Let's begin the story right now. Come on in, let's do it. Now, our story begins as Mr. Tobee, the school counselor, sits in his office staring outside of his window at the children playing on the playground outside. There's the kids. I like watching the kids playing around on the playground. I like watching the kids playing around on the playground. I see you playing. But wait, there's a little froggy not playing. Mr. Tobee noticed as he looks out of the window that there's a little froggy sitting on the swing, not playing with any of the other little frogs and bugs on the playground. I wonder why that kid's not playing. Let me sit here and look a little longer. As the kids continue to run around on the playground, having lots and lots of fun, the little frog doesn't do anything. He doesn't hop, he doesn't smile, he doesn't even swing, and he's on the swing. Mr. Tobee wonders, I wonder if there's something really wrong with that little frog. Suddenly the bell rings and all the other little kids scurry into the school building. But the little frog named Freddy just sits there looking, staring at the sky. He stares at the ground. He even stares at the swing. But he doesn't hop inside the school building. Ribbit. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Mr. Tobee notices that the little froggy is not moving towards the school building. So he waits and thinks to himself, I need to help that little froggy. Something must be wrong. Eventually, the little froggy decides he's going to go to class. So he begins to slowly walk along to the school building and he stands next to the front door. Mr. Tobee sees him walking and scurries out of his office towards the front door of the school building. I think I'll help him right now. Mr. Tobee pulls the door open. Hi, little froggy. How you doing? Ribbit. But Freddy does not answer. Freddy doesn't feel good. Hi, little froggy. Let me say it again. That maybe you didn't hear me. Hey, little froggy. Why aren't you hopping around? Hey, little froggy, why aren't you hopping around? But the little froggy Freddy doesn't even respond. He just drops his head and looks at the floor. Ribbit. So Mr. Tobee decides to help him some more. Okay, little froggy, I see you don't want to talk. Well, do you know where your class is? Ribbit, yes I do, yes. Okay, what is your name, little froggy? My name is Freddy, and I have to go to class, I think, whatever. Okay, Freddy, I'm the school counselor, and I'll help you if you need some help. But for now, go into class, and hopefully you'll feel better when you get there. Ribbit. Okay, I guess I'll go, whatever. So little Freddy the Frog hops right along, and then he starts walking because Freddy doesn't feel good. So Freddy slowly walks to class and sits in class, Miss Wigglyworm's class. Freddy sits in class, all class not doing anything. He doesn't do any work. He doesn't talk to anybody. He doesn't respond to the teacher when she asks him questions. So Miss Wigglyworm is concerned. She says, Freddy, what are you doing? Why aren't you working. All the other little buggies are working. I don't feel like working. I don't feel like doing anything. I'm so tired of everybody, says Freddy. Miss Wiggly Worm says, okay, I need to take you to the school counselor. So she hurries and takes Freddy down to the school counselor, Mr. Tobee. Remember Mr. Tobee? She knocks on the door. Come in. Allah steps into the office, Miss Wiggly Worm with Freddy following behind. Mr. Tobee, says Miss Wiggly Worm, Freddy does not want to do any work in my class. He normally does, but for the last few days, he hasn't done any work. Okay, Miss Wiggly Worm, I'll take care of it. Come on in, Freddy. Freddy slowly walks into the office. Have a seat on my couch. Whatever. Miss Wiggly Worm scurries out of the office and closes the door. And they sit, Mr. Tobee and Freddy sits on the couch. Okay, Freddy, what's wrong? I knew I would see you again. What is the problem? Well, I don't know. I just don't feel like it. I don't feel like doing nothing. I just want to just sit and do nothing. Well, that's not good, Freddy. There must be something we can do to help you get back on track. No, I'm fine, just like this. I don't want to do anything anymore. I'm so tired of everything. I'm tired of everybody. Just leave me alone. I don't want to do it no more. Okay, Freddy, you're going wrong, but we're going to help you. Now, what can we do to help you? You have to tell me what's wrong. I told you there's nothing wrong with me. Leave me alone. So Mr. Tobee sits for a second thinking, I have to help Freddy somehow. Let me think. And then an idea pops into Mr. Tobee's mind. I have the Gemini blanket. I can use it to help Freddy. So Mr. Tobee reaches over and grabs a magical blanket, the Gemini blanket. Mr. Tobee quickly wraps the magical Gemini blanket around Freddy's shoulders. Here you go. And taps on it 3 times. Okay, Gemini blanket. Okay, Gemini blanket, move. But the Gemini blanket doesn't do anything. Did I forget something? Oh yeah, he's supposed to say something. Okay, repeat after me. Freddy, when I tap the blanket 3 times, I want you to say, I want to feel good. I want to feel great. I want to be happy. You got it? Whatever. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I want to feel great. I want to feel great. That isn't what you said. Oh, yeah. I want to feel good. I want to feel good. I want to feel great. I want to feel great. I want to be happy. I want to feel great. No. You got to say it like this. I want to feel good. I want to feel good. I want to feel great. I want to feel great. I want to be happy. I want to, is that okay? No. Let's say it one more time. I want to feel good. I want to feel good. I want to feel great. I want to feel great. I want to be happy. I want to be happy. Suddenly, the Gemini blanket begins to glow a magical glow. And suddenly they appear. With a flash of light. They appear standing in a forest with lots of trees and birds and everything flying all around. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Cries Freddy. What are we doing in this forest? I don't like it here. I don't like it here at all. Why don't you like it here, Freddy? What's wrong? What happened here? I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it at all. I don't want to be in the forest ever again. Something must have happened in the forest, thinks Mr. Tobee to himself. All of a sudden, a large puff of smoke descends and comes down from the sky and hovers right in front of Freddy and Mr. Tobee. Wow, what's this? It's a big puff of smoke. Where'd it come from? And appearing inside of the puff of smoke is a picture and an image of Freddy and his father playing in the forest. Freddy begins to sob. I remember this. Suddenly, a big owl swoops down from the sky and grabs Freddy's father. Wait, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, and flies off into the sky for Freddy's father in his claws. Oh my God, come back, Daddy, Ribbit, come back, Daddy, Ribbit, let my daddy go, Ribbit. But the owl keeps going and Freddy's dad is gone. Oh, my daddy's gone! My daddy's gone! Ow! What are we doing in this forest? I don't want to be in the forest no more! It's okay, Freddy. We all suffer losses sometimes. Now I know what's going on. Now I can see. Okay, now I have to wrap the blanket back around you and we'll find out what we can do. Okay, we have the blanket back around you. Now I'm going to tap the blanket 3 more times and we're going to see how we can feel good about ourselves and be happy again. 1, 2, 3. Gemini blanket. Now show us the way to feel happy. Suddenly, the Gemini blanket glows a magical glow again and poof. They end up standing inside of Freddy's room. What are we doing here? This is where we used to dance. Oh, says Mr. Tobee. Suddenly, a puff of smoke floats out of the sky and sits right in front of them. Inside of the puff of smoke, they can see a stereo and it's playing music. And they are hopping around inside. They can see an image of Freddy's dad hopping around to the music. Hop, we hop in, hop, hop, we hop in. And then Freddy begins to hop more and more. Hop, hop, we hop in around, yeah. Hop in around, yeah. Hop, 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 hop in around. Freddy hops so much that the Gemini blanket pops off of his shoulders and he just keeps a hopping. He just keeps a hopping. He's hopping, he's hopping, he's hopping. Freddy feels good. Suddenly the Gemini blanket begins to low and Freddy begins to laugh. It was so fun dancing with Daddy. Oh my goodness. I love dancing with Daddy. Yay! Suddenly they appear back in Mr. Tobee's office. Freddy, how are you feeling? I feel great. So when you think about your dad, think about all the good times you had with your dancing inside of your room, and you will feel happy. I think I can do that. I can do that. So hop on back to class and think about your dad and all of the good hopping dancing that you did. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Tobee. Thank you, Gemini blanket. Thank you, everybody. Freddy quickly hops out of the office and back to class. Freddy feels good now because he could remember all of the good times and all of the good things that he and his dad did that were fun and that were exciting and that made him feel good, that made him feel great, and that made him be happy. And you can do the same. If you have some type of loss, if you are dealing with some type of loss in your life, you can think of the good times. You can think of the fun times every time you think of them. And you too can feel good. You too can feel great. You too can be happy. This has been part one. This has been Mr. Tobee and the Gemini blanket. Please come back. Come back and see us again. Please again, hit follow and like on the screen, and you can get notifications of when the next story, Mr. Tobee and the Gemini blanket, comes on. I'll see you later. Yeah, I'll see you later. Yeah. Let's see you later. We'll see you later. Mr. Tobee's coming around to help you feel good. Oh yeah, coming around to help you feel good.